So you got accepted into UCR, huh? And you accepted it. So now, I'm gonna be telling you all about UCR. I'm graduating from UCR in 1 month, and here's what I wish somebody told me when I got accepted. So I'm gonna be giving you the rundown from classes to the parking lot to surviving the quarter system. And I have a bunch of sauce here. I wrote it all down, so let's get right into it, guys. Wait, hold up. Alright, there we go. Highlanders. So, from the first 2 years, it's gonna feel really random. My first 2 years, they were just random classes, like biology, had an insect class once, I was taking history classes. But I do have to say, I had 3 classes that were really cool. It was History 15, Religious Studies 12, and French 101A. So these were the first 2 years. It was pretty calm. You know, it kind of felt more like checking off boxes from a list of requirements. And once I finished my first 2 years, that's when it really started to pick up with speed. So my 3rd and 4th years, they were more upper division, more difficult classes. And this is when it gets serious, and you cannot mess up on these because this is where it really counts. You know, on your transcript, it's gonna be showing your actual major with these classes. And so you really have to keep that in mind when you're in these classes. And if you guys are wondering which classes are the best to take, don't worry the first 2 years. Just take classes that will actually give you credit. So when you're taking classes, you gotta take classes that are actually gonna benefit your major later on. And that's why it's kind of important to know what your major is gonna be. I know some people go in undeclared, and it's fine, but at least have something in mind. Like maybe you want to go into computer science or psychology or biology. And so knowing that will help you in the long run. For example, if you want to go into computer science, just take computer science classes that will actually fill your requirements instead of just give you credits. Because there's a difference between getting credits but actually filling your requirements. So just keep that in mind. And you guys can check your Rweb and your degree audit in there, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. So let's get into the fact that UCR, and I think all the UCs, are a quarter system school. So it moves super fast. Back in high school, you could kind of fall behind and catch up pretty quickly without a consequence. But when you're in a quarter system, it moves really fast. And so if you just mess up 1 week, that means you erased 1 whole week from 10 weeks. A normal semester is above 15 weeks, sometimes up to 18 weeks. And in a quarter system, it's only 10 weeks. And so 1 week can cost you so much. So please don't fall behind. If you're gonna go out of the country, you're going on vacation, just let your professors know ahead of time. And just send them an email, you know, something quick, doesn't have to be much. If you're someone who is not very organized, you have to kind of learn to be organized because it's gonna help you so much. If you're all over the place, you're just gonna be stressed and you're gonna be falling behind in no time. So please just keep your files organized, you know, make folders on your computer, or even keep a notebook and print papers out, but just file them nicely. That way you know where everything is. Another thing I wanted to talk about was professors. So there's this website called Rate My Professor. And this is a lifesaver. Just go on the website and search up the class that you're planning to take, and always do this before registration opens, so that way you kind of have an idea of what classes and what professors are the ones you want to take. But this website, it tells you a lot of information. So there's other students who leave comments and they kind of give reviews on the classes, but especially the professors. And so if you have trouble with professors with heavy accents or just professors who don't teach in the style you like, this website will help you a lot. And right now that we're talking about professors offer office hours, and office hours are low-key underrated. I know a lot of people don't even pay attention to the office hours times, but trust me, it's gonna help so much. So whenever you have an exam coming up, just go to office hours, and just the professor seeing you there, they're gonna like you more automatically, and they might even give you some exam tips. So I know one time I went to office hours for like 2 weeks straight, and the professor actually dropped some sauce in the office hours session, And I remember ever since then, I took it way more seriously, because before I would just be like, I would be scrubbing it off. But ever since that day and that time, I actually got a higher grade on my exam, and then I never took office hours for granted again. So for social life, it's pretty chill at UCR. It's super easy to meet people in your classes, outside in the hallways, during office hours, for example. And so if you really want to make friends at UCR, or any university for that matter, you really have to kind of put yourself out there, because everyone is kind of in their own bubble. So if you don't really talk to people, they won't talk to you first. And so you kind of have to go out of your way and talk to people first, and then they'll reciprocate, and then that's how you end up with friends. So for the campus, I am a commuter, so I'm not on campus all the time. I'm just there whenever I need to be. So whenever I have class or I have exams. But what I can tell you is the parking is crazy. Every time you have to go to class in between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., there's no parking. So guys, please go to class early. If you're a commuter, you have to get there at least 30 minutes early. And you have to be there 30 minutes early, because if not, you're gonna be spending 30 minutes just looking for parking, and you do not want to be the person that walks into class late, especially during exams. And so just trust me, the first 4 weeks are gonna be crazy, especially if you have early classes. If you have 6 p.m. classes, it might be more chill, but it still gets hectic even in the afternoons and the evenings. So don't do this to yourself. Just go to class early, and it's gonna be much better. Trust me. You'll remember me when you're doing circles in the parking lot, especially you lot 30. I still have nightmares. So money. I know this is a big one for all of us. If we're going to UCR, you're probably getting FAFSA help. And if not, you're probably an international student paying thousands and thousands of dollars every year. And either way, whatever you do, once you have your tuition paid, you still have additional costs like textbooks. And for textbooks, sometimes they're required, sometimes they're not. And so if they're not required, just try to get through class without them. Unless you really need them, then yeah, go ahead and buy them, and you can use them as a tax deduction later on in the year. Just tell your tax advisor that you paid this much for textbooks, and they'll discount that off your taxes. For internships, it's gonna be pretty difficult, I'm not gonna lie. And this is once you enter your second year and third year, so for now don't worry about it, but please try to get an internship early. And whenever you're in that situation, just keep looking on Handshake. I'm not sure if you know what Handshake is yet, but you'll find out pretty soon, and it's just the site where you find all the internships and job opportunities later on. So on a more serious note now, let's talk about career and future advice. So right now in your first year, it's not really important, but later on it's really important. So right now you might not be thinking about graduation yet and internships and all that, but later on it comes quick. So for now, just focus on your classwork and making good relationships with your professors and the other top students in your classes. This will help you a lot later on, and when you are able to hit up a friend or a professor for a reference, it's just gonna make life so much easier. So just keep that in mind for later on. College is building the foundation for your career, and what you do outside of the university is what changes everything. For the things that I wish I knew, I have a list right here. So I would go to office hours. I would not isolate myself, because I remember my first 2 years, I would just kind of be in my own bubble, and I wouldn't ask questions and I wouldn't talk to anyone. But my last 2 years, I started raising my hand more and actually having a connection with my professor, and that just helped way more. I would make sure to join at least one club. I remember I tried joining a French club and it didn't work as I wanted it to, but I did end up joining a French class that led me to 3 more classes, and it was super cool, and I made a good connection with the professor. So yeah, don't make that mistake that I made in not joining clubs. Just join one at least. Another tip I would give you guys is to not compare yourself to other people, because it's easy to compare yourself to another person, who is doing better than you, but that's just relative to their timeline. Your time is gonna come, so just please do not compare yourself and keep focused on your path, and you will be fine, trust me. And for the final tip, it's actually not studying, not working hard, not making any connections. It's take pictures and videos, because later on you're gonna be graduating like me and you're gonna have 0 pictures of campus. So make memories, you know, have a picture in front of the hub, have a picture in front of the bathrooms, have a picture in front of the bell tower, and you guys will be looking back to these pictures in the future and think, thank you Salite for giving me that tip. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and leave a comment on what you're planning to study. I want to know what everyone is trying to study, and for my major it was business administration, concentrating in business analytics. So yeah guys, don't stress it too much. Just enjoy your time at UCR, and congratulations on getting accepted. UCR is a really good school and it's moving up in the ladder actually, so you're gonna be the students who make it go up. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below. I'm pretty responsive with comments, so I'll respond. And if you have a video idea for me to do in the future, let me know, because I'm looking at comments and I'm making videos right now fast. And I have a lot of free time now that homework is going down with graduation coming up soon. So yeah, I can make videos that you guys recommend to me in the comments down below. If you have questions of any classes you're planning to take, let me know down below, because I've taken so many classes in the past. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 10,000 subscribers. And for all the Highlanders out there, support another Highlander. Congrats once again, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.